Thank you very much.
Tonight on Q2, Ring the Bell.
I was really blown away. I couldn't believe we had a coin of that value dropped off.
The Salvation Army receives a very special donation this holiday season in the form of a gold coin. Plus the sights and sounds of Christmas all across the Magic City.
It's mainly to bring joy to everybody else.
A Billings family bringing joy to others and capturing the spirit of the season on their doorbell camera. And a 9-year-old Billings boy spreading that Christmas cheer all year long.
Even though I was only in 3rd grade, I thought I could make a difference.
How one of our youngest Montanans is hoping to set an example for all of us on this Christmas Eve. The MTN 530 News starts right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us this Christmas Eve. I'm Augusta McDonnell. The ringing of the Salvation Army bells is common this time of year, with the nonprofit working to collect donations for all those in need. Typically, those donations come in small sizes, some coins or even a couple dollars, but that was not the case last Friday in Billings, as an anonymous donation was dropped off, far exceeding the organization's expectations. Charlie Kleps reports on this nearly $2,600 surprise.
Merry Christmas. Thank you very much.
It's what we hear every year.
Merry Christmas.
The ringing of the Salvation Army bells outside of stores, collecting donations from those walking in.
Thank you.
And out.
I only have some change, but it's all I got.
I know, but thank you. Thank you.
Donations both large and small that all go towards helping feed those in need.
This last year, we gave out over 97,000 meals.
Typically, it's a couple bucks or quarters in the bucket, but that wasn't the case on Friday.
No, a guy just walked up to me and said, make sure you check the kettle really good. This is more than just a quarter.
Volunteer Darwin Nissen was sitting right here in his usual spot outside of Shields when a unique coin was dropped into the bucket.
Put it in there and walked away. I didn't even see him drop it in there.
So we went back to the office and had one of my helpers there go through the bucket with me, and we found a gold buffalo coin inside the bucket.
That coin, worth nearly $2,600, was a pleasant surprise to all, including Billings Captain Colin Peterson.
I was very, very much in shock finding out that coin was of that value. The generosity that someone had to just anonymously drop a coin of that nature in a bucket.
Peterson says that while he's heard of large donations like that at other places around the country, in his 20 years of service, he's never seen one for himself.
We were really thrilled to have a donation of that nature. Really helped us get closer to our goal for this year.
A Christmas miracle happening right here in the Magic City.
Thank you very much.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Many people across Montana and the surrounding states are getting ready to travel to their holiday destinations this year. All is calm outside right now, but does that mean it's smooth sailing for travelers? With a first look at the weather, here's meteorologist Jason Stiff.
We've been tracking Santa on Christmas Eve, currently over the Atlantic Ocean, flying south toward the Sandwich Islands. Maybe all the reindeer are hungry, but as you can see, Santa's making his way around. But by the time he gets to Montana, Wyoming, what is he going to encounter? Well, we do have a disturbance moving our direction. Lots of clouds right now, some areas of rain and snow in far western Montana. But will that make it here by early tomorrow morning? Our complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
An estimated 107 million people are expected to hit the road this holiday season, and that's good news at the pump for those travelers. Right now, the national average sits at $3.04 a gallon, and it's even better news here in Montana. Take a look at your screen now with prices at $2.78 a gallon. That's 20 cents less than a month ago. And here in Billings, a little cheaper than most places. It's $2.71 a gallon, 23 cents cheaper than a month ago. The newest members of Montana's congressional delegation have announced committees they'll be serving on next year. Senator-elect Tim Sheehy and Congressman-elect Troy Downing, both Republicans, will take their seats in Congress next month. Committees monitor federal agencies and consider bills on specific subject areas. Sheehy, a Navy veteran, will serve on the Senate Armed Services Committee, which oversees the military and defense policy, and on the Veterans Affairs Committee, overseeing the VA. He will also sit on the Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee. Downing announced he'll be on the House Financial Services Committee, overseeing industries like insurance and securities. He currently regulates those same industries as Montana State Auditor.
Positively Montana is sponsored by Yellowstone Valley Electric Cooperative.
Tonight, most children will be wishing for gadgets and toys from Santa. But one McKinley third grader isn't thinking about himself this season. After learning about the underprivileged kids at his own school, 9-year-old Porter Eaton decided to help in a big way. Our Isabel Spartz shows us the huge difference this young student is making.
McKinley Elementary School counselor Caitlin Harabin serves many different types of students throughout the year.
We have a high transiency population, so we have students who are with us for 3 months and then they move.
As a Title I school, all students qualify for free meals. She also gives out 30 backpack meals on the weekends. Many of these students also struggle with constant shelter.
If you're looking at you're sharing a home with someone, you don't necessarily have your own bed. A meal is a concern. Learning is the last thing on your mind.
This fact is something that concerned McKinley third grader Porter Eaton.
I just really thought about it and thought that I could probably make a big difference.
Most 9-year-olds this year are asking Santa for the newest toy or video game, but not Porter.
There are currently 6 homeless kids, 17 kids living in motels, and 1 student living in the shelter.
His idea? A fund to help those students get jackets, hats, gloves, and other basic necessities to keep them warm.
He was so excited about it, but he was questioning, where do I start, right? This is a big lift, and he ended up setting the goal. We at first said, well, could you raise $1,000?
It's a huge undertaking for a third grader, but he was confident thanks to having those important conversations with his parents.
It really did stem from those dinner table conversations of there's kids that are in your class right here that don't go home to a dinner table.
With their help, he set up a bank account, launched a GoFundMe for the McKinley Angel Fund, and quickly got the attention of the community.
100% of every dollar donated will go to helping these kids. I've raised about $7,000 so far, so I'm doing pretty good.
And the school would agree. That $1,000 goal grew quickly to $10,000 and came as a shock to the staff. Those funds will be life-changing.
It takes some of that fear of reaching out to a school and maybe some of that shame, too, that people feel like nobody wants to have to ask for help, and it's really hard.
Porter's always had a very big heart and wants to help others, and to see it now in a tangible way is really rewarding.
After the success of the project, Porter and his family hope to keep it going for years to come so that no child at McKinley will ever go cold again.
I hope that whenever the need arises, I can help.
Really humbling to see that we have people who love McKinley, but beyond that, they love our students. And they don't know them, but they love them.
In Billings, Isabel Spartz, MTN News.
Today is Christmas Eve, but there's still some time to check out some amazing Magic City Christmas lights. From Candy Cane Lane to Whoville, you'll find Christmas traditions throughout Billings, including some light displays you've probably never seen or even heard of. Our Matt Carmack found one such display and spoke to the family behind it about the joy they've received from watching the reaction of those who visit.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Grab your hot chocolate and your warm blanket, and let's check out 2 houses that are bringing holiday joy to our Billings community. If you're looking for homes full of Christmas joy, set your GPS for Caroline Street in the Billings Heights.
There have been several of the people down the street who they'll see us and they'll say, "Oh, you're the house of the Christmas lights."
The Lowers family has been putting on their Christmas light show since 2021.
So for me, that's the most fun, is how customizable the process is.
Amanda Lauer sets the show up by syncing preset music to a computer program system. She likes that she can make the show different every year by changing the music and light sequences.
We set it up mainly because our kids really love it, and then if other people can come enjoy it, then that's just an added bonus for us.
But they do it for more than just fun lights and decorations. They want to remind others in the community what Christmas is all about.
It helps me remember the reason for the season, and having lost parents and family members and others who it was important to, it helps me keep their spirit alive.
Once you're done on Caroline Street, you then need to head to this home on Frost Street, also in the Billings Heights.
I mean, I enjoy looking at the lights myself, but that's why I do it. It's just to bring the joy to everybody this time of year.
Larry Cherry has been working on this complex 45-minute light show for about 12 years.
Every other night, it seems like we come out and sit in the car and just watch the show.
Most of the inflatables and LED lights have been accumulated over the years. He's overall spent more than $1,000 on just extension cords and started decorating this year, even before Halloween.
You know, this time of year, I'm always thinking, what can I do next year? What can I make it bigger and better next year?
Larry does this every year to spread holiday joy to the Billings community, which is why when his security cameras captured this family dancing to the music, he knew he had accomplished his Christmas wish.
It's mainly to bring joy to everybody else.
Don't worry if you miss these 2 light shows. They're playing tonight until the new year.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, everyone!
In Billings, Matt Carmack, MTN News.
Still ahead on the MTN 530 news right here on Q2. Cold and flu numbers are spiking across Montana, but several over-the-counter medications are being phased out. We'll have those details next. And later, there's once again something special brewing on the hardwood up at Skyview. Alex shows us that in just a bit.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
The holidays are a joyous time with family and friends coming together to celebrate, but all those celebrations can often make it easier for viruses to spread. Right now in Montana, influenza is definitely beginning to spike. Let's take a look at the numbers. So far in December, the state has seen 264 positive cases. Up until this month, Montana health officials reported only 207 cases for the entire season, which began in October. The week ending on December 14th saw 179 cases alone, easily the highest for 2024. And so far, no Montana residents have died from the flu this year, but 18 have been hospitalized. And those numbers prove one thing: cold and flu season is upon us. In tonight's Your Health Matters, Scripps News' Ava Joy Burnett reports on why your go-to remedy routine might have to change.
The medicines you take for cold or allergies could be changing soon. The FDA is proposing removing a key ingredient, phenylephrine, in oral medication.
Phenylephrine is a chemical decongestant that has been a common ingredient in cold and flu medications for decades.
The ingredient is in hundreds of medicines, including versions of Sudafed and Dayquil. The FDA's decision coming after experts voted unanimously last year that oral phenylephrine medications don't relieve congestion.
Our research showed that oral phenylephrine is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. And the reason why is because it is so poorly absorbed.
University of Florida professor Randy Hatton co-led research on phenylephrine with Professor Leslie Handeles.
If you have a stuffy nose and you take phenylephrine, your nose will still be stuffy.
So what does this mean if you're currently taking these oral decongestants?
So when we look for alternate therapies, we're talking about things that are safe to use on a daily basis. Things like saline rinses, whether they are in a spray bottle or a saline mist, can be very effective for cleaning out thick mucus that accumulates throughout the nose, causing nasal obstruction.
Consumers can also opt for medicines that contain a different decongestant, pseudoephedrine. These medicines, including Claritin D and Allegra D, are behind the pharmacy counter. These medicines are considered effective, but you should talk to your doctor before using them. Ava Joy Burnett, Scripps News, Washington.
And everybody is getting in the Christmas spirit. We've got one day till Christmas.
Exactly. Santa's been very busy, but you got to take a little time off as well.
There's the guy.
There he is. He's at Red Lodge Mountain, just taking a little bit more of a run down the slopes before he has to get back in the sleigh with all of his 8 tiny reindeer. But will Rudolph be necessary? August 70 forecast after this.